this is Ian Bromehead from Nobius, and welcome. Today, June the 4th, is the release of Zabbix version 7 LTS. So LTS meaning long-term support means that this version is going to be supported for 5 years, and it's a great version. We've been waiting for some of the features to arrive in Zabbix for a while, and now it's here. So what we thought we'd do is give you a short introduction to some of the key features. In fact, why not? We'll choose 7. So what I'm going to do is just very quickly go through just an overview of what these are and how you can use them to gain business value in a Zabbix implementation. My colleague David Collier will go into more detail about each of these features and probably more too. So let's jump in. Synthetic injection, synthetic probing for end-user web monitoring is something really important in any enterprise scale solution. The synthetic injection is performed by executing scripts which do the same thing as an operator would. So that gives you great flexibility to test out and see if the website's running, but also if the service which is behind the website is performing properly, and then trigger alerts to an operator if there's problems with either availability, if the performance is too slow or not as expected, as well as some of the transaction steps in the service delivery. So end-user web monitoring you can use in the same way as you use any of the measurement metrics in Zabbix to show graphs like the one shown here. And the value of that really is that you're continuously monitoring to make sure that your business services provided to your users and to your customers are always operational. So it should be something that's running 24 hours by 7 if that's the SLA that you provide to your customers. Asynchronous data polling is an architectural aspect which they've changed. Previously everything was synchronous, so whilst the timeout was being waited for, then the software wasn't doing any useful work. Doing it asynchronously means that all of the pollers running in parallel can now be separated across different types of pollers for SNMP, for agents, and for HTTP calls, and you can multiply, of course, the number of pollers for each of those types. So this is going to greatly increase the scope and the performance of a Zabbix implementation. The diagram on the left shows you, previously it was synchronous. The second poll couldn't happen until the first was completed. Now with asynchronous, then they can be fired and they can complete in any order. So a great addition. The next one is faster, actually more powerful proxies. In version 6, the previous version, that was the first version where Zabbix had high availability. And that meant clustering so that you could fail over from the main server to a secondary or any number of secondary servers. Well, now they've introduced that same capability to the proxies. And proxies, of course, are extremely important for distributed monitoring. So having high availability for proxies is a really important feature. And now it's here. And that is going to improve once again the performance that can be obtained from a distributed monitoring solution. So you get automatic failover and automatic load balancing. Well, if any proxy falls or is failing, then it will switch across to different proxies declared in a server group. So that's going to improve the SLAs, reducing downtime, improving uptime, and give much greater scalability. So a great addition that we've been waiting for. Now timeouts themselves were in general pretty much at a global level. And so now with version 7 you can control timeouts at a global level, but also now at an item level. And that's going to give much greater configuration granularity, so you can decide whether you want a 3-second timeout or a 1-second timeout or a 30-second timeout practically per measured item on a host. So that should also give much greater flexibility in configurations, increased scalability, and the performance, and ultimately, therefore, the SLA of the overall solution. Now, sometimes when you're executing monitors in Zabbix, sometimes in real time you need the operator to answer a question or enter some data. And until previous to 7, that wasn't possible, but now they've added this in version 7, and you can type in a string or a CSV type parameters on the fly. Great addition. The next one is graphics. Of course, a lot of people may have used the built-in graphics like the ones shown in here, but they've added some new ones in version 7 so that more people don't necessarily need to export data to things like Grafana. They've done a really good job here. You can see some of the examples on this slide here, Honeycomb, Pi, Gauge. They've also created a means to show the top triggers, the busiest or the noisiest triggers in your implementation. And now there's also data comms between graphical widgets, which is going to give a lot more scope and flexibility to provide operators with key information. The ultimate aim of this, of course, is to improve the context, allow an operator to make faster decisions, and by doing that, he should get to be able to reduce mean time to repair and improve the business SLAs. The final feature in this short overview concerns multi-factor authentication, something which we're practically all familiar with today, since in many contexts our banks force us into this particular way of authenticating our connections to the online services. Zabbix now has this capability, and that's a great way to improve security, lock out hackers, and improve the protection of your implementation. So those are 7 main features, but of course, as always, Zabbix is forever adding new templates for the various types of objects that need to be monitored in your environment. Here's some of them which they've added in version 7. And the same goes for integrations as well. Full details, of course, are available on the Zabbix website. Nobius is really pleased and congratulate the Zabbix team on bringing out this major version. Of course, as the UK's #1 certified partner, we resell all Zabbix services, to training, consultancy days, support contracts, which you can purchase from Nobius in Great British Pounds. We do turnkey projects. We design, build, and test the implementations for you. We can do mentoring to your staff if you want your staff to do most of the major work to design, build, and implement, and we can do that under our guidance. And we've also created on-premise hosted services such as Carbon, Graphite, and Diamond, where if you don't have the servers, you don't have the hardware, you don't have the trained staff, or they're not available to you, then you can subscribe to our services and practically overnight get access to Zabbix. Carbon is a shared infrastructure service for 3 operators and 1,000 nodes. Graphite is similar, except that it's got a high availability cluster built in. And Diamond is using specific dedicated infrastructure and HA. So those are just some of the added value services that we've set up for customers. And if you contact us, you'll see that they start at some very attractive pricing. So those are our services. And you can engage with us, Nobius. We're all certified as CSZCP. We're the first Zabbix certified UK partner and have been for the last 5 years in the UK. We were awarded in 2023 by the SME magazine as IT experts. And here's my phone number and Dave's phone number. And you can also send us email at info@nobius.co.uk. And of course, go to our website where there's lots of information available to you, including lots of case studies where you can learn who's using it and how are they solving their problems and getting business value. So thanks for watching this short overview of Zabbix 7, and we hope you'll be in touch soon. Thank you.